back to Online Ascent. This is episode 4, all about social media, what to do, which, different networks to be on, how to post on them, what to tweet, all the different things you want to know about social media. I am here for you. So I'm very excited. Let's just dive into it. The last few episodes have been all about setting up your business domain name for your website, setting up your business email address, and then once you have those two things, the next big step is looking at your website and trying to figure out where you want to host it and how you want it to look and what content you want to put on there. But before you do that, after you buy your domain name, I always tell people to go on social media and go on all the different accounts and grab your specific username so that it can be consistent across all platforms. A lot of times before I even buy domain names, which is, if you didn't watch the second episode, it's basically your website name, your www.website.com. So if you, before you even buy that, sometimes it's good to go on Twitter, to go on Instagram, and make sure that those are profiles that you can actually get, because there's nothing worse than trying to get your different social media networks and finding out they're taken. Thanks for the support, guys. This is a live chat, so if anytime you have any questions, jump in, comment. You can always ask me any questions. I do video marketing. My company is Triple Peak Media, and I love helping business owners get online and stay focused and have a consistent message. So that's basically what I do. And today we're talking all about social media. This is my online video podcast called Online Ascent. Hi. Let me know where you guys are from too, so we can talk about that. It's always fun to talk about video and, locations and places all around the world. I love it. So getting into social media, I always go on a few different sites to check for my usernames. I always go on Instagram. Instagram's probably my favorite platform, at least for right now. It could change in the future, but I always try to go on Instagram very first and get my profile there. If somebody else has your profile name, you can always go with an underscore or a number at the end, or your state. Like if you live in California, you can always do your business with a capital CA at the end. That's always kind of interesting, fun way to do something different. Or you can just do somebody's name or whatever else you can think of, as long as you put that link on your website. Thank you for all the support. As long as you put that on your website, that's what people are going to go to. So I always tell people when they get frustrated, don't worry about what all the haters are doing. Don't worry about what other people are taking. If they have your name, don't worry about it, because they will never be able to promote your products better than you will. So even if someone steals your name, like they did to me with my domain name, you can watch that in episode 2 for that story. Even if they steal your domain name, you can still promote a completely different website. It can literally be abcdefg.com, and people will go to it and people will follow you for what you stand for as a brand. They're not gonna remember this other fancy website name and then never ever go to your website again, So that's not how people are gonna remember you. No matter what you tell them to go to, they're gonna remember it, and as long as you have an impact with your brand. But if you can, try to be consistent across all the platforms and try to have the same name. So like with that, when I did my San Diego lifestyle blog website, I put in the SD lifestyle. It was available on Instagram, and then secondary, I go to Twitter and I find out if it's available on Twitter. So those are the two main ones, because on Facebook you have to kind of apply for a custom name for your Facebook business page, and you can name your business page anything you want, but the actual www.facebook.com/whatever, you have to actually kind of apply for that name. So don't necessarily worry about Facebook off the bat, but definitely go on Instagram and go on Twitter and make sure that those two are good. And also remember that, I think both of them do, but at least Twitter has a 15-character limit for usernames. So make sure that your username is something under 15 characters. Don't make it super long and crazy, because you won't be able to use that. So try to think of something short for your brand and your company and just go with that. So as far as each different social platform, I also obviously love to be on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is one of my favorite platforms. I love the business to business networking that you can do on there, and it really just allows you to get a deeper understanding for people, for companies, where they stand, where they're at, how things are going, and it really lays out the foundation for your social media marketing. So the things that I post on there are very, very businessy, and they're not really as personal, but it's very, very effective to getting really good brand collaborations, really good media connections, really good promotion, and just connecting with the right people to get you in the right spots for different things. So I highly suggest going on LinkedIn. I would create a profile just under your name, not your business. Thank you. Hi, let me know where you guys are from. Hi. Welcome in. As I said before, this is a live show, so if you have any questions along the way about anything to do with video marketing, we can completely go off the reservation and off topic, but if no one has any dying, burning questions right now, we're talking about social media today. So I've talked a lot about buying your domain name for your business. I've talked a lot about setting up your business email address. And then as soon as you have that business email address, you can go on all these social platforms and apply for an account. So I always go, my favorite top 4 are LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So I build all my pages out basically as soon as I have my domain name and I have my business email. Then I can go on these sites and I can apply for an account. And then once I have the account, you basically create it. It's based on your email address, most of these, and so you just put in your new business email address that you have, and then you need 3 basic things on almost all of these platforms. The number one thing that you need on every single social platform is a profile photo. And so many of my clients, thank you, so many of my clients get wrapped up with the profile photo. They get so worried about it. They wonder if they should spend $1,000 having someone to work on this crazy logo, and it's really not that much of an intense decision that you should make right now. You should try to keep things really super simple, and if you need to, just type out one letter in any kind of Word document or anything and start changing the fonts, and at least find a font with one letter that you can maybe change the color of the letter for now, and that can be your logo. Or for instance, if you sell a certain product, you can literally just take a photo of that product and that can be your logo. We can crop it out into a nice circle. I like to have all the logos fit inside a circle, but then also remember that your logo should be able to go from a circle onto something that's square, something that's white, something that's black. People are gonna put your logo all over the place, so remember that and get excited about that, because even if nobody knows you now, people will get to know you and they will definitely know your brand over time. So you want your logo to be something that will stand the test of time and that you can really love. But don't think about it too much. Honestly, brands change their logos all the time. Let's think about Instagram, for example. Instagram has changed their logo 2 or 3 times already in the past, 2 or 3 years? So don't worry, in 12 months you can change your logo again based on how modern it is now, or the fancy colors that are getting clicked on the most. So don't worry right now, pick something very simple, take a photo of your product, use one letter as your logo, do whatever you can to make the decision as fast as possible so that you can start uploading things to these social profiles and start sending the traffic to your website. That's another really important thing I want you to remember. Whenever you're building anything on any other website besides the one that you own, the one that you bought through a website buying company like GoDaddy, the one that you have control over the DNS settings, the one that you have control over the forwarding, that's the one that you should be sending the traffic to. No matter where you post on social media, on YouTube, on any other website, you should be pushing the traffic to your website. I firmly believe this, and if my views on YouTube aren't gonna get as highly viewed because I'm not pushing people back to YouTube, I really don't care, honestly, because I'm here to promote myself, my services, and my website. And if people, if not as many people see me because of that, but the right people see me and they're going to my website and buying things. That's all that matters to me. I don't need to have 1 million views. I don't need to have 10,000 subscribers. I just need customers and clients and people liking what I'm doing. So you literally don't have to make it complicated. It can be super simple and easy. Pick a profile picture. The next thing you're gonna need is a tagline. So if you already have kind of a mission statement or another like phrase or a different thing that you can basically, that's what you do for your business, then use that for your tagline. All you have to do is write it out in most of the social platforms. On Instagram, you can put it right in your bio, and on basically all of the other platforms, you can just write it, type it right in there, have a great kind of tagline. But if you want, you can also put the words onto a Word document with some colors, and then you can make that for your tagline too. So again, just make it super simple and easy for yourself. It doesn't have to be complicated right now. Just grab your logo, grab your tagline, and then you can start posting and you can start promoting your amazing business and services. The other thing that you're gonna wanna have is you're gonna wanna have a header photo for a lot of things like Facebook, your business page. You need a header photo behind your profile picture. On Twitter, you also have a header photo. So on Instagram, you don't have a header photo. All you have to do is worry about the profile picture. And on LinkedIn, I don't believe there might be a background photo on the business profile. So I would pick one photo for your business that you like, that's kind of, if something gets cropped off of it, you don't have to worry too much about that. So just pick something super, general, generic, and maybe just a color or a pattern or something interesting, unique, and something that drives the attention to your logo, because you don't want it to take away from your logo. So once you have those three things, a logo, a tagline, and a header photo, you basically can get going on any of these social profiles, and you can start posting photos, you can start tagging other people, you can start following other accounts and connecting with potential customers. So that's all I want to go through for the overview. So I basically just want to go over why I love each of the social channels really quick, and you'll get a kind of a feel for how I use them. Every social channel is really different, so definitely don't use the same ones for the same things, because a lot of them really are unique and you can't do a lot of things in certain areas. So you have to be really picky and choosy. So like I said before, LinkedIn is one of my favorite platforms, especially for B2B, for connecting with collaboration partners and media and getting the word out there. I really love LinkedIn. I usually go on LinkedIn. I love connecting with people that I meet at networking events. Usually that's the very first thing that I do when I get business cards back from a networking event, is I go on LinkedIn and I request to be connected with whoever I met at the event. And then you can kind of take it from there. You add in all of your jobs on LinkedIn so people can see where you've worked, and you can put a lot more serious things on there. I do sometimes add some blogs from my San Diego lifestyle website, but for the most part, I try to keep it really professional and really clean, and I don't add any photos of my dogs or, pictures of my dinner or anything like that on LinkedIn. So keep it really business, keep it really straightforward, and use it more for connections to try to get to your audience, as opposed to straight talking to your audience. So that's LinkedIn basically in a nutshell for me. I know there's so many things that you can do with LinkedIn, and there are a ton of customers on LinkedIn, but for me, I don't really use it like that. So it's not my favorite platform, but I love it for B2B, like I was saying. Hi, welcome in. Like I said, this is live, you guys. So if you have any questions at all, thanks so much for being in here. Thanks so much for supporting me. If you do want to subscribe to the podcast, you can go to onlineascent.com, and this is the 4th episode. I'm doing it every single week, so this is really exciting, kind of just getting my ideas out there and showing you how I process things. So that's basically why I do this podcast, and I absolutely love it. So I've gone over LinkedIn, and now we're gonna get into my absolute favorite social platform right now, which is Instagram. So Instagram is my very favorite. I love it so much. I love that basically what you post on your timeline is really unique, very attractive images. So something clear, something simple, something colorful, some really fun things that you can't see anywhere else. So that's my favorite thing to post on Instagram, is just really fun things. Another big thing to remember with Instagram is captions. You're gonna wanna write basically full out 3-paragraph personal story captions, and I'm not even joking you. The most popular Instagram posts are the ones that have these longer stories in them, and they really hit your heart, and they really inspire you, and they make you want to take action. So remember that when you're posting on Instagram. So keep it fun, keep it super colorful. Another fun thing is the photos on Instagram are in little blocks of 3s going down, so you can make really cool designs in your profile, and you can do different things with different colors. I'm trying to do kind of a theme with my client photos and my photos with blue backgrounds. So there's a lot of fun things you can do with it, and you can connect with so many customers. I can't tell you how many customers and clients I've met on Instagram personally. I absolutely love it. I think there's so many different ways that you can grab clients right off of Instagram, and within days, if not hours, have them paying you for your goods and services. There's really no other platform where you can direct message someone and you can collaborate with other businesses. You can reach out to celebrities. And there's so many different things you can do on Instagram. There's so much power. So I'm sure we'll go into that more in a different episode, but right now we just want to get through the basics of the other two that I love so much. The next one is Facebook. So I think having a Facebook business page, especially if you're targeting an audience that's over 30 or 35, it's really important to have a Facebook business page. On Facebook, you can promote a very specific link. So if you want, you can put a long story about a certain blog story on your site, or about your about page, or something very unique, and you can put the direct link to that story or to that page. On Instagram, you can't do that. You can only put one link, and it's in your bio. So you basically have to tell everyone, click the link in my bio, and then scroll down to this, or search for this, or go to this blog. From there, you can't put the direct link to the blog story. So on Facebook you can, and it drives me crazy when people put all the posts in Instagram where you can't even put the link, and then they click the little Facebook button at the bottom of Instagram, which automatically posts your Instagram post to Facebook, and instead of Facebook actually including the link that you wanted to post, it sends you a link to go to your Instagram account. So that drives me crazy. I don't use that little button. I don't automatically post all my things to other accounts. I think it's kind of silly, although I do use the same photos again and again. I try to switch up the messaging. I try to shorten it. I try to get to the point when I'm on Twitter or Instagram, and I try to make it longer on Facebook and just kind of have fun with it on Facebook. Well, I shouldn't say, I should put Instagram more in the category of Facebook when I'm talking about that, because you do want to write more stories on Instagram, but they can be 3 paragraphs. On Facebook, you can literally write your whole blog in there of 2,000 words, and you can still, put your whole entire thing in there if you want, and, leave out the last 2 sentences of your blog and put a link to the blog, and maybe that will get more people reading it. I don't know. So, Facebook business page, I definitely, well, thank you. My business page on Facebook is Triple Peak Media, if you want to go and check it out. What people can do on there is like your page, so you can like my page if you want. You can comment and tell me your Facebook business page, and I would love to like your business page, and I can tell you a little bit about how your business page is going, how it's looking, what's going on with it, what you may want to add, all those fun things. So after Facebook business page is Twitter. Twitter's kind of, It's really interesting for me. I do love it. I used to love it so much. That used to be my main platform. I basically built my business on Twitter from 2010 until 2014. I had a pretty big Twitter account. I had about 30,000 completely organic followers, and I always push for people to use organic everything and get all of your followers organically, because once you do build it up to that number, you can get a lot more attention, you can get a lot more engagement, and it's really worth just doing it organically. Paying for it just to get the vanity points is just kind of silly. So Van Pelt wants to know, does online marketing really work? I completely, truly believe in online marketing, and here's why. I'll tell you a quick 2-minute story. So I grew up in Michigan, in Traverse City, Michigan, and it was freezing cold winters every single winter. I hated it so much. I wanted to get out of Michigan so badly. And so I basically started on Twitter, and thank you. I started connecting with people on Twitter. I started connecting with businesses on Twitter. I started liking their stuff, and over time, I got a few businesses to have me do their Twitter accounts and manage their social messages, and through those accounts, I started selling goods. I actually made a membership website. That was the first website I made, and with this membership, it was a $30 membership, and I actually got people to go from Twitter to buying an online membership. And it was really cool to me to see that I could sit at my house in Michigan and get someone to pay $30 from the other side of the world, and it just completely opened my mind, and it really shocked me. And ever since then, I've been online marketing and online selling, and I've basically made almost all of my money through online sales for so long now, for the last 6, 7, 8 years. So it's really been effective, and I truly believe in online marketing. And if it got me from Michigan to California, it can get anyone wherever they want to go. So I definitely believe in it. So as far as Twitter goes, the only thing that you can't really do with Twitter is, oh no. Well, I guess that's what you get when you do a live show. You get fire trucks, and it's getting hot in here when we're talking about Twitter. So it's the last thing I'm going to talk about, but it's obviously a hot topic. So the only thing you can't do with Twitter is tweet a long story. You can't really even tweet a medium-sized story. You basically can tweet a few really punchline sentences, and that's it. And you put your link in, and you put a photo, and you're done. You can tag locations, and there are really cool hashtags on Twitter. So like I was saying, I built basically my first several businesses on Twitter alone before Instagram was even a thing, and before LinkedIn was a thing at all, and Facebook was just not really working for anyone. So I used Twitter to really sell so many products and services that I absolutely believe in it 100%. I love that you can just get to the point on Twitter, and I love that you can share text on Twitter, and none of the other platforms are really created for text only. So Twitter's the only thing, the only network where it kind of promotes you or wants you to tweet shorter messages more often. Instead of like Instagram, you maybe post 3 to 5 times a day and you post longer photos and more insightful things. Twitter would rather you post 20 different times a day and post 2 sentences at a time. So that's kind of the difference. But if you can go on Twitter and you can Vimpel says, I barely use Twitter and I'm missing. You're not really missing out. I mean, I still do sell products and services using Twitter, but not nearly as much as Instagram, but I also am not on it nearly as much. So I think there's definitely opportunities in both areas that you could definitely be taking advantage of. So I like to be on Twitter. I like connecting with Twitter. It's really good for news outlets, for gaining followers based on a popular topic. If you want to do a lot of tweets with like the trending topic hashtags. I remember I used to do that every day. I swore by that. Go on the trending topics, find something to tweet about, even if it's like a new movie that came out and you know nothing about it. You literally tweet, I know nothing about this movie, and you're done. So, and then you put that hashtag and you get more followers from it. It's crazy. So you just connect with people all over the world, and especially if you have an opinion on something, it's really easy and fun to just get out and meet new people and connect with people that you can give your opinion to, and they totally understand it and have fun with it. So I love all social media so much, so much, so much. I know a lot of other people ask me things like, should I blog on other websites as well as mine, like Medium or Tumblr? And I don't personally do that. I don't think it's worth my time based on the ROI. But if you're trying to get in a certain long tail keyword, or you're trying to get on a certain platform, or you're trying to get links maybe for a reputation management type of a project, it's definitely good to repost all of your blogs on Medium and on Tumblr. Also, if you have a really small niche blog, it's really, really good for that, because you can connect with people based on hashtags on Medium and Tumblr. And if you have something that's really like a really small niche, you can definitely connect with new people, and you can gain a lot more attention to your blog a lot faster. So it's a really good way to do that, but I think overall you don't need to post all of your blogs on all these other websites. And then as far as every other social channel, I know people like Gary Vee are a huge fan of, you know, posting on 30 different channels and being on every different thing, but I'm not a huge fan of it. I would say pick your top 2 that you're gonna go on every single day, and then the other ones maybe post once a week on if you really wanna go all out. But I post on 3 things right now. I post on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and that's what I love. So that's what I'm trying to grow, and that's kind of where my business comes from. So I'm happy with that, and I'm happy with how much I'm growing. So I'm very, very excited. So that's all I have for social media. Just remember that when you're posting on social media, just be yourself. Don't be fake. Don't be somebody that you wish you were. Just be yourself. Talk to your customers. Talk to these people as if they were right next to you. My favorite person ever to follow is Steve Aoki. I love so much about Steve Aoki. I obviously love his music, but I love the way he interacts with fans. I love the specific things that he does, like cake face and like Aoki jump. There's so many different specific things, but yet he can connect with Pizza Aoki, and he can have his own fashion line, and he can do all these other things. You would not believe the things this man can do with online networking and online marketing. It just blows my mind completely. So if you need an inspiration of who to follow and why not to wonder about certain click-throughs or ROI or what to do, follow Steve Aoki. He's my inspiration for social media, and go out and do your thing. Do what you love to do, and don't care about what anybody else says, because at the end of the day, it's your life and nothing else matters but what you think. So I hope you all have an amazing day. If you have any other questions, concerns, anything to do with online marketing, I'm here for you. I love talking about social media, and I'll see you next week on Online Ascent.